Hello, good afternoon. Hi, friends. This Friday, I did a book launch at the Process Work Institute, and we tried to record it so that we could share it with everybody, but the recording didn't work. So I decided to re-record what I presented on Friday. So this is what I want to share with you. So I'm very excited to bring and share with you the publication of my new book, Big Medicine. Here it is. It has a little tags here so that I can find the pieces I want to read. And first of all, I want to thank people that have helped me over this long journey of developing the concept of Big Medicine. First of all, Arnie Mindell, who I met many years ago in Switzerland. Then my dear friend and mentor Mark Schupbach, as well as my colleagues Kara, Jai, and Amici, who are helping me with the Dream Body Medicine Forum. These are events that we hold at the Process Work Institute once a month, where we do together, we research how to best unfold body symptoms and issues of health. So I'm going to start with reading a paragraph in my book where I describe how I encountered Arnie Mindell and how my first ideas of Big Medicine started. So today's version of medicine, what I call small medicine, has lost its art. It has turned into the provision of healthcare, which has morphed into a practice that is dominated by technologies, process flow charts, decision trees, and lists of best practices. It is based on the idea that the body is a machine built as a collection of machines. Healthcare supplies the mechanics that repair the failing or broken machine. This version of medicine is very powerful and often successful. We still need to use it. But medicine has lost its depth, art, and soul, as well as its human and social connection. I began to form the concept of Big Medicine as a young resident just out of medical school, after responding to an invitation from my physician friend Martin Vossler. Martin was an unconventional doctor in many ways, like the American physician, comedian and social activist Patch Adams, who founded the Gesundheit Institute in 1971. Martin had a one-man private practice on the Rhine border in Basel. As part of his medical practice, he invited a person of interest to speak each month, such as a politician, a poet, an environmentalist, or a social activist. They would share their views and practices, and we, the invited circle of friends, would discuss how these ideas could inform our lives and medical practices. One evening, he invited Arnold Mindell, the founder of process-oriented psychology, to demonstrate his uncanny approach to body symptoms. Martin volunteered to explore his own symptom of repetitive strain injury, and 35 years later, I still vividly remember the fascination I felt as I witnessed Arnie unveiling the story and process, the depths and meaning that lay beneath what medically was an uncomplicated condition that would probably resolve easily with some rest. Many years later, Martin told me how life-changing this experience had been for him. His repetitive strain injury had stemmed from filing thousands of envelopes with political leaflets. Arnie helped Martin unfold the pain in his hand, which required him to stop in his tracks, rest, and re-examine the scope of his involvement in medicine, relationships, and political action. This experience spurred Martin to eventually leave medicine and devote his life to environmental activism. This really represented a paradigm shift for me. A body experience was not only a nuisance or a symptom of something broken that needed to be fixed. It had its own relevance that was deeply embedded in Martin's history, personality, current life situation and aspirations. Big Medicine started that evening and has evolved through my 35 years of studies in process-oriented psychology and medicine. The first seminar in process-oriented psychology I attended after that watershed night was a seminar on group dynamics and conflict resolution led by Arnold Mindell. It was a 5-day seminar in Kiev, a remote village in the Swiss Alps. We were about 45 participants, all staying under the same roof in a big Swiss mountain cabin and working together on issues within our group, such as gender and class. There was also one African American woman who brought race to the forefront, an issue that was in those days little spoken about in Switzerland. The interactions were wild, intense and transformational. I remember glass shattering and people screaming and running out into the alpine meadows. Medicine at that time tended to attract shy, introverted and conforming individuals into its studies and practice, and I was one of them. The group dynamics I witnessed in Kiev were deeply disturbing to me, but I stayed and survived. The experience sparked in me a curiosity about the social and community aspects of medicine that later led to my doctoral studies in social medicine and health psychology. In these studies, I learned about the injustices of our social arrangements that create health disparities. Thus, individual health and community health are the two pillars of my version of medicine that I call Big Medicine.